the line, go ahead.
Well, we've seen it so much today. If you start running side by side, you almost hurt your lap times by a second. So if a guy catches you, there's a reason he catches you. And this early in the race, let him go. This is a battle right here for 12th between Jeff Gordon and John Andretti in the 43 car.
Clear, all clear.
I got a feeling we haven't heard the last of Gordon, though. I think he's off, off pace a little bit right now. But I think they'll get that car tightened up for him before the day's over with. And I bet we haven't heard the end of him.
Remember that strategy a while ago? They decided to change 2 right side tires. Also remember, he had been loose. And Darrell, you know as well as I do, sometimes when you put just right side tires on, that in itself will tighten the race car up. And he's holding in 5th position, so I didn't think he would stay there.
No, I didn't either. But the thing that always bothers me, Larry, is what's he going to do now when he has to come to the pits for a green flag stop? He's got to take 4. That's okay right now because you got to fill up with fuel anyway. You're going to be sitting there that long. But if that kind of strategy can bite you at the end of the day.
It can be a gamble, absolutely. But under green flag stops, 35, 40 laps, everybody will take 4 tires.
Yeah. Now, the other car that took on just 2 tires was Rusty Wallace. And here's Rusty running in 9th place, about 11 seconds behind the leader, drifting back just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But, on further review, good call by both teams to do what they did. They passed a lot of cars on pit road.
We mentioned Ward Burton had gone to the garage. Here's Dick.
And Ward is indeed sitting with the car up on jack stands. Transmission, Ward.
Yeah, the transmission went out 3rd gear early. Start the race, we were fighting a little bit of a loose condition and felt like we could get it corrected and salvage the finish for it, but it's mechanical problems are killing us. Guys are working hard, and I'm working hard. We're just right now not getting it done, but certainly not giving up.
You've heard both the disappointment and the disillusionment in the voices of the drivers today that have fallen out with mechanical problems.
And the question that we can't answer, but can certainly speculate, is are some of these drivers and teams beating themselves trying to beat the racetrack? Bill Elliott is out front at 106 laps.
That Fox welcomes you back to the Pocono Resort area. 90 laps to go, and the Coca-Cola Racing family in today's race. Take a look at how well they're doing. Bill Elliott, your leader. Dale Jarrett second. Michael Waltrip, Jeff Burton in the top 12, and expanding Coca-Cola Racing family as the drivers, as you see, Kyle Petty, Steve Park, Kurt Busch, and Kevin Harvick rounding out the group. There was that movie out a couple of years ago. It was probably on video now. Billy Elliott, about a kid who liked ballet and his father disapproved. Well, Bill Elliott likes to race, and his father so much approves. Obviously, has helped build engines and still does build engines. But at age 46, our leader, Bill Elliott, who hasn't won, Jeff Hammond, in 15 races in Winston Cup.
He may not have won, but I tell you right now, he's really gotten on track as of late. Finished 9th in Charlotte, 2nd last week, leading here today. Ray Evernham and Bill Elliott have finally got their act together, and they're starting to show some really strong muscle.
Now look ahead here with 89 laps to go at where you think the pit strategy, the way we've gone so far with just a couple of caution flags.
Well, they got about 2 more stops they got to go through to be able to complete this race, and it's going to be real interesting right now to see how everything kind of plays out in the next little bit. But I expect them to come to pit road around lap 129 for one of those stops. It'll be interesting to see who makes what kind of adjustments in.
5 cars officially out of the race. Some others having some problems. Let's get a check on that with Dick Berger. Dick?
And Terry Labonte is in the garage area talking with Ken Howes. What's going on? So many mechanical failures. They got the hood up on yours.
Well, we dropped the valve, I guess. We got something went wrong in the engine there and lost the cylinder. Then it lost the rest of them. So I guess the valve was bouncing around in there and got all the cylinders. So we're done for the day.
And so are a lot of other people. This garage is getting populated, Mike.
Filling up fast to celebrate Tony the Tiger's birthday. Kellogg's is going to award a Spirit of Achievement Award to 10 kids who have overcome a personal challenge or helped others to do so. The grand prize winner gets a $10,000 scholarship and will appear on a box of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes with Tony. Only 6 days left to get your nomination in. There's the website and the toll-free number.
And one of the things, just to follow up a little bit on the transmission deal, shifting here should be an option. You should set your car up to where if you want to run it in normal, in your high gear position, that car would run pretty good like that, and only shift when you need to. Depending on shifting to be fast around here is why these guys are having trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Darrell, it wasn't that many years ago we were pulling 370, 375 rearing gears here, but now getting up that short chute, 389, 391, you have to shift on this long straightaway. You'd be turning 9,400 at the end of this long straightaway.
I think guys have gotten carried away. I just think they're just overdoing it.
Back to 7th place, Mark Martin pulling down on Ricky Craven. Inside for the pass.
And as you can see, most of the time, when a guy knows the guy closing is faster than he is, he moves up and lets him go. You can draft here very nicely. You can run down these long straightaways and get a real nice pull. Stay right with the guy in front that just made that pass.
This is a super speedway. The slowest they go is 130 some miles an hour in the middle of turn 3, and they hit 200 miles an hour at the end of this straightaway. You could draft just about anywhere here.
That's right.
Let's look at our Fox tracks. We got the miles per hour on our leader, Bill Elliott, right here. Start-finish line about 175 miles an hour, over 180. Down into turn 1. This is well into a run as well. 192 miles an hour. And this is well into a run. Fresher tires, it'll even be faster than that.
Oh, yeah, he'd be right at that 200 mark.
In the last 6 seasons, Bill Elliott's had only one top 5 finish here. 4th place last July. Looking to win today, and pit stops are coming up. John Andretti was running in 15th place when his Cheerios Dodge ran into the turn 1 wall.
Yeah, he was going by Robbie Gordon on the outside here. I don't think there was any contact. It just looks like Robbie held him out there, and John had to make a real late entry into the corner and got up in the loose stuff, and the back end come around on him.
That's put us under the 3rd caution of the day at lap 115. And the leaders are on pit road.
All 29 of them on the lead lap. Dick Berger.
Jimmy Johnson's team is going to take 1/2 a pound out of the right rear. That's the only adjustment out of the 4 tires on this car and 2 cans of fuel. Steve Burns.
Dick, Dale Jarrett's car being characterized as a little bit snug. They're going to put 1 round of bite in the right rear and 4 tires. Matt Yoakum.
Bill Elliott felt like his car was better on the first half of the run. In the second half, a little bit of trouble on the left rear. He's not going to beat the 88 or the 28 off pit road. They went down 1/2 pound on both front tires. 15.94 seconds for Elliott.
Hey, Mark Martin, that 6th group, they had a good pit stop.
Ricky Rudd, pretty good stop for him, too.
Yes, it was. Yates won the 2nd.
Yates boys are on it today. All of them are.
Here it is. Race out. Dale Jarrett. There you see his teammate, Ricky Rudd. Here comes Awesome Bill in a 9.
Have the young guns run out of bullets?
There's Mark Martin.
Oh, there's one.
There's one.
Jimmy Johnson, Sterling Marlin, who did get 4 tires that time.
Bill Elliott led them to the caution flag. Dale Jarrett leads them off pit road. Good day for the over 40 crowd here at Pocono.
Want to race the truck. People love the truck.
Finishing up the 3rd caution period of the day, there's always a lot of hard work and sacrifice that goes on behind the scenes. We want to mention that with our Ford No Boundaries moment. Here's Steve Burns.
Mike, as DW just mentioned, the 88 team just busted a great pit stop. He's also getting a lot of help from his spotter, former Busch Series champion David Green. David was in Nashville this weekend qualifying the 59 car for Stacy Compton, so Compton could qualify here in Pocono. He stayed for the race last night, flew back to Charlotte, North Carolina, arriving at 2:30 a.m., turned around, got back on another flight, a racing logistics flight, which brings crew members up at 4:30 a.m., all in time to help DJ Spot here at Pocono.
Also up on the spotter stand, Mike Kalanoff is Matt Kenseth's spotter. His dad, longtime Northeast racing journalist Len Kalanoff, recovering from a heart attack this weekend, and our best wishes to him for a speedy recovery.
Let's take a look at this caution flag pit stops. Now, you look at Bill Elliott, who went from 1st to 3rd. Not a very good pit stop. Look at his pit road time. Remember, 55 miles an hour, but that also includes getting in and out of your box. But look at Dale Jarrett, he's 1st now. Look at his teammate, Ricky Rudd. Their road time, along with an awesome stop by Ricky Rudd's crew, that's the reason they're 1st and 2nd. The least amount of time spent on pit road. Need to document that about 4 or 5 cars came in and topped off Jimmy Spencer, Kyle Petty, Brett Bodine, Steve Grissom, and Stacy Compton. Just taking advantage, rear of the field. Nothing to lose by coming in, making sure that tank's full of fuel.
The closest Winston Cup race to the major media markets of Philadelphia and New York. And they have packed this former spinach farm in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. What a crowd.
That caution was not a good break for Steve Park. Just a few laps ago, he was on pit road with a flat right front tire, so he's now a lap down.
Let's keep an eye on Sterling Marlin on Fox Tracks. He will restart 6th as here they come for the restart. Green flag, completing lap 120.
Pace car brought him to 65 miles an hour, coming toward the start-finish line. Well, at about 130 miles an hour before he even gets to high gear at the start-finish line. And he's back there in traffic. He's not out there in clean air. Watch him going out into turn 1, 173 miles an hour, off the throttle. About 132 miles an hour down in the middle of the corner, off the throttle.
And the 28's alongside of his teammate there.
Ricky Rudd has not yet led today.
Challenging for the lead, and I think he's pretty well got it.
From last to first.
Boy, that 28 car looks really good, Larry, and it's down. I mean, the nose of that baby is sealed off against the racetrack.
For more on race leader and defending race champ Ricky Rudd, Dick Berger.
Just before the start of the race, Mike, Ricky Rudd and I were standing around his car, and we were just having some casual conversation. And, you know, Rudd has been outspoken about all the stuff that's been said about how these kids are dominating the series. And he looked at me and he said, you just tell all the announcers on the broadcast, wait until about the halfway point of this race, and then tell me about the youngsters. Well, you got veterans in the top 4 spots. I'd say Rudd called that one very well.
And you know the fellow who's in 4th, Mark Martin, leading that big pack of cars right behind our 3 runaway leaders here. It was Mark who first started discussing the phenomenon of young drivers about a year and a half ago. These fellows who were getting into race cars at age 5. Here's one of them passing him right now, Jimmy Johnson. And by the time they get to Winston Cup, they got 15 years of experience. And Mark says drivers his age didn't even get to drive good cars in Winston Cup until their 30s because there were so many good established drivers, older drivers ahead of them. Now these young drivers are getting into good stuff at age 20 or so. It's all different now.
Yeah, I think what really opened Mark's eyes to the phenomenon is his son, Matt. You know, he's racing Matt in his little mini series that he runs down there in Florida, and developing Matt, bringing him along to be a Winston Cup driver as soon as he can.
Well, I want you to look at this group of cars here from about 7th to about 12th, including that 20-car Home Depot car of Tony Stewart. He's getting better and better as this race goes on. He had fell back there in the beginning, but now he's up here running in the 8th position.
2 of the Earnhardt Inc. cars splitting. Jeff Burton, being Earnhardt Jr. and Michael Waltrip.
Well, little brother's having a pretty good run today there, Larry. He's 10th, and car looks really good. He's been in the top 10 all day.
I tell you, another car having a good run. That yellow number 77, Dave.
Yeah,
he started in 21st, and I'm telling you, if you'd have been in their garage this morning, I talked to Ryan Pemberton, his crew chief. They had the 4 springs laying out off the 4 shocks, and Ryan was rubbing his head. He said, I don't know what to do to it. But this is the same car that they led Fontana with, and Robert Presley finished 2nd at Chicago last year. Good race car.
Good race car.
Steve Burns.
Well, Michael Waltrip is having a good run. On the last pit stop, they took 1 pound out of all 4 tires and made a wedge adjustment. He's been fighting a push. His spotter also telling him maybe to try running a higher line.
When Steve was letting a little bit of air out of all 4 tires, what that's doing, that's helping as this racetrack gets hotter, it's letting it get more grip. You're taking spring rate away from the whole race car.